awesome. So we have one of the semifinals for Storm Stress Cup. We have on the blue Zerton. He's playing as the English for this matchup. It is a best of 3. He has been a fantastic player so far. He's been playing beautifully English build orders. And on the red, playing as HRE, we have Matiz, another great player coming from other RTS titles. He's going to be playing HRE. HRE has been looking strong. They have really good strategies for Feudal and up to the third age. So we're going to see exactly how that turns out. And with me, I have, of course, Nakamura casting.
Thank you, Adiko. So, very interesting thing here is both players are hurrying up to get their gold. So it's going to be a pretty fast advance, both of them skipping the wood. And just gathering from their sheep. Now let's see what those scouts have got out on the map. Looks like just 2 sheep. Zerton is finding his second one as well. Scouting backwards, and actually I think he found that in the back here. Yeah, he found his trading post. He saw a relic. Back berries. Very safe. And his back gold mines. Damn. That is insane.
Totally. And I think it's pretty interesting to see now going into the wood for our boy Matiz. That could lead to some interesting playing up into Feudal. He doesn't really need the wood until he gets to Feudal. So like you were saying, both players going straight into gold. There are 2 gold for certain, 2 villagers in gold for certain, who's just now pulling them out. No, he's getting them back in. I think he realized that he needed just 1 more gold to start building his landmark. That's a little bit unfortunate on the timing. But on the other side, Matiz already has a 200 gold. He's just waiting on food. Maybe he should have waited a little bit to pull the villagers into the woods, because right now he's going to be gathering wood, but he's not going to be able to use it in a little while, and he's going to be a little bit later unless he pulls more villagers to the construction of that landmark to go up an age.
So for the Holy Roman Empire here, we have got the chapel. What this does is it's going to create an influence area here. And yeah, everyone is inspired as long as you garrison a prelate. So we haven't seen an early prelate, of course, because it would severely delay this build order here. But you put the prelate in here, every single villager gets the inspiration buff. It's pretty huge.
Yeah.
So for Zerton, it's just going to be a longbow rush. Already rallying to the gold. And it's very clean. It's got 4 builder sites, so I expect like a 4-minute 8 or something like that for his advance time. Got enough on wood to make it work as well.
And they didn't. And Matiz will have seen just now the age up for Zerton, so that means that he knows what's coming. The good news is that getting a prelate out right now, I think most people agree that you should get your prelate early game, but you know, getting them now is not so bad. Getting it out now and into that chapel is going to be very important to get all of that gold, because what Matiz is going to be looking to do here, or at least what I think he's going to be looking to do, is get out a double barracks and start pumping out those men-at-arms and amass a big army that way. But he needs to be careful. That council hall that just finished is going to start getting longbowmen out. If those longbowmen manage to harass that gold mine enough, those men-at-arms are not coming out. He's going to be in trouble if he doesn't defend that gold mine. And
yeah, 100%.
Is so far away.
We've got an early stable, so he's not even going to do that, actually. And I actually wouldn't be surprised if Matiz threw down an outpost here to just make sure that the gold is secure. Zerton is getting bullied by the bitey infantry on the map. No.
Gonna make quick work of that, and he's sending those villagers. So the stable is immediately going to get some horsemen. That makes a ton of sense. And I wonder if he's getting, he's getting professional scouts. He wants to get that food from his scout back into the base. There is quite a bit of a debate whether or not that is worth it, but I think that given that you have the chapel that gives you that extra work for your villagers, you can get those carcasses back into your base for the villagers to pick up, and that makes it a little bit more worth it. So
for sure,
a lot of food, a lot of gold, and quite a bit of wood is going to be coming out for our friend Matiz here.
Yeah, just looking at the current resources. Just looking at the current resource, I completely agree with the choice, because these villagers are just chopping off so much. It's totally fine, I think. It's gonna be a second stable. That's a very heavy commit. Honestly, I'd like to see Zerton just throw down a double barracks to match it.
Yeah, I think Zerton. Let me check what Zerton sees, because he should have. I don't think he has the information, or at least it's not
No.
showing up when you reload
Well,
his move.
I think this is a bug. I'm pretty sure that
Yeah,
scout has been there.
it's a bug that it doesn't show you what he already saw in the past. But think about it, if he knows that the stables are there, he should be thinking about getting a barracks out, and I think that's what he's doing right now. Yeah, he's finishing his barracks to get a couple of spearmen out and make sure that he doesn't get run over with the stables. Did he get... He hasn't gotten the unique technology setup camp yet, which is very powerful for those long movements, particularly when you're pushing out of your base. So he might not be thinking about pushing out right now. He might just be thinking, I don't want to get harassed by those horsemen when they eventually come. But
Yeah, that is a
it's gonna
hard
be a
technology
work
to
for
get though, with only 2 villagers from gold. The way Zerton is playing, it was a very early advance, almost as early as possible with constant villager production. It's just he didn't commit super hard with the builder numbers. Anyway, from here you need so many people on wood and food that extra goldies are just not something you can afford. So the struggle is real. That's a lot of cav, and I'm not sure he's prepared, but then again, he has got bow villagers. Let's see what he can do.
he needs to... Zerton needs to pull back to get that bonus of 25% attack speed from his buildings. No, he's getting split from his base. That is a terrible way to fight, but I think it was enough that Matiz moved out. That could have ended very poorly for Zerton if he kept the fight, or if Matiz wanted to trade those units.
Yeah, you really don't want to attack into English villagers when the army is around. A little bit of raiding out in the open would be fine. For example, hitting the gold, because when you scout this build, you know there's not much gold being gathered. It's not secure. It's especially this map. It's so far away from Zerton's TC. Actually, it would take forever for him to escape from there. Hitting those is a good play for sure. Maybe we'll get to see that later.
Neither player on a stone yet, so they're not thinking about a second TC at the moment. They're just going with the 1 TC build so far.
Yeah, and actually, ranged armor is being upgraded for the horsemen. It's gonna give them a lot of extra potency against the longbows, who, by the way, do not yet have a blacksmith upgrade on the way. Zerton does not have a blacksmith in general. It's very good to get it.
Quite a few English players have been, at least in this tournament, they've been foregoing blacksmith upgrades for their longbowmen.
Yeah, it's very potent actually, because here's the thing. The horsemen, they don't have basic armor, right? So every time you increase your damage is a pretty big deal for the longbowmen, but as long as you have enough spears in general, that's also fine. Hey, that's a man-at-arms.
Yeah. The one problem is that I don't know if you can support double stable, double barracks production on a single TC.
Well,
so even, well, maybe
food.
with the prelate in the chapel you can, but I think it's a little bit on the edge.
Shouldn't be a problem with this villager amount, I think. Approaching 10 minutes. Yeah, I think you can afford it. It's a lot of bills. I didn't actually catch how many upgrades he completed, but it looks like quite a few. The hunt upgrade is done. There's double scouts bringing back food, and he's now getting the fertilization thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that is
Level
going to
1 of
increase
that
the
is
gathering rate a lot
else.
more.
I don't know.
Interesting to see that he hasn't gotten wheelbarrow yet. That is a pretty good economic upgrade overall for all of your resources.
True. I guess it's a bit expensive, but Matiz sure can afford it.
Yeah. Right now, looking at the income per minute, it is pretty big in the advantage of Matiz. The only thing that he's not gathering faster than Zerton is wood, which makes a lot of sense given that Zerton is going hard on those longbowmen and they eat up that wood.
Preemptively pulling away from the gold, knowing that he can't manage that. I would like to see Zerton throw down an outpost or two just to defend himself. very
Yeah.
few engagements this game, but Zerton's army is starting to get pretty big. He's even getting some early men-at-arms himself. They're just as good as the Holy Roman Empire ones. Actually, it's the same perk that both civs can make it in the Second Age. Lots of spears here.
And so right now, Zerton kind of relinquished the control of the map. So we have to be looking out. You know, Zerton needs to be looking out for what he wants to do near in Age 3. There is a reality that getting those sacred sites is a win condition. So it's not all about those landmarks. And if the game goes long, sometimes those sacred sites can become the pivotal points for where you put your keeps, where you build your armies,
Oh, for
and
sure.
where you try to push.
And the relics are going to be interesting as well, because the Holy Roman Empire actually has this huge bonus for it. Volunteer landmarks, I forget the name actually, but it gives you a 200% extra gather rate from the relics if you garrison in there, so...
Yeah, if you garrison
Serious
3,
business.
that is 900 gold per minute that
Now,
you're
there you
making
go.
on that landmark. And right now he's building it. That's the Regnitz Cathedral, I believe.
That's it.
I don't speak German, so sorry everybody who's from Germany. So that is gonna be the building. He's gonna want to get more prelates out to make sure to stock up that H3. And I think here's where relinquishing that map control could bite him in the ass for certain, because he won't know what he will know that there is an H3 for Matiz. He won't know exactly which landmark, and it could either be the cathedral, or I believe the other one that you get is the sort of 5 barracks, so that you can produce infantry 5 at a time. And if he doesn't know which one it is, it's going to be very hard for him to respond appropriately, because if it is the relics one, you kind of want to get that map control back and avoid him getting that 900 gold per minute. If it is the army one, then you probably want to think about your defenses and how exactly are you going to survive a push from 5 barracks.
It's getting more and more difficult, all of these villagers getting empowered like that. Although the drop-off distance for the wood villagers is getting a little bit intense for Matiz, but if all he cares about is making men-at-arms, then that's not going to be too bad of a problem.
Yeah, he should be thinking about maybe building a single lumber camp up front, but like you said, it's not that vital, at least not as vital as something for Zerton, who you can see he's actually putting up a tower there to make sure that he does not lose that wood line anytime soon. So this is a little bit of an unfortunate engagement for Zerton, I think, because if he goes long on this engagement, the H3 upgrades are going to start to come in for Matiz, and it is incredibly powerful to see H3 units against H2.
Oh god, here comes the cavalry flank as well. On top of everything, the archers are completely caught off guard, didn't get time to put down their phalanx, and that is a closer round coming out of Matiz. Zerton slips out, but loses so much in the process.
Yeah, if those men-at-arms were spearmen and Zerton's spearmen were men-at-arms, we would have a different discussion on this fight, but it is...
Wait a second.
Zerton...
He handled it.
He handled it, but I think he lost so much, and he's still an H behind. That's the other thing to remember. He's still an H behind right now.
He does have knights to deal with.
Yeah. When knights start to come in, that is going to be very problematic out of those tables.
He does have hardened spearmen at least, but H3 is so far away from Zerton.
Yeah, he's still missing around 600 food. He needs to get that quickly. He has one granary with, good farms, but he needs to get a second one. He's doing that right now. He knows that he needs to catch up in age right now, or as soon as there are like 5 to 6 knights out there, I mean, that's gonna be a massive raid, and his wood line is already very thin.
Yeah, I have to switch to the other wood line there and maybe start thinking about some walls. I mean, they're not that expensive, right? And he's relatively close to the edge of the map here. Can definitely use the terrain to his advantage a bit, at least. But yeah, wood hasn't been the best for Zerton this time. Actually, for needle plate, there's not much wood here. The wood starve could be real.
Well, Matiz does have a backwood that it is very safe, relatively speaking. Zerton does have a secondary wood, and he's putting down. I really like this. The King Palace, which acts as a town center, getting put near the berries, near the gold, and near the wood. That is a beautiful place to put that one down, and he can have control of one of the relics, which is also going to be important to avoid that relic runaway cathedral. Though he hasn't put one in there yet. He has a guy there. He just needs to come on, just throw the relic in, dude.
Oh no. I know that there's
outside.
I know that there's some problems with trying to like queue commands to go out for the relic, go back, go to the next relic, go back. That doesn't quite work out right now. Hopefully they'll.
He didn't drop it. He's just moving it back into the building.
What?
Oh no.
Oh no. I didn't notice it, I think.
Yeah, I think he essentially trapped the relic. I mean, he can get out and put the relic down in the other one, but he's not gonna see it. Oh my god, that's so bad.
But the good news is there's more relics. But anyways, we've got some nitrates coming in. Do they have an attack upgrade? What is this? No. Yes, 1 attack upgrade and 2 ranged armor upgrades. So that's going to be fantastic against those longbows, and they probably Zerton really needs those attack upgrades to try to offset this. There's almost no point getting the melee armor upgrade for the archers now, because if these knights connect, I mean, they do 37 damage. What are you gonna do? Reduce it to 36? Yeah. That's meaningless. But increase the damage by 1. You're negating 1/6 of the armor. That is huge.
Yeah, and Matiz sees the town center now, the secondary town center for Zerton, and he's gonna pull out. But he knows about it. He knows that he can hit it. It doesn't have watchtowers. It's just a town center at the moment. But he's gonna pull back. He's thinking, I'm gonna do something else. He never built a second TC, Matiz. So he might be thinking, okay, he's gonna boom economically. He might not be building an army to attack me. He should be thinking about maybe going up to 2 TCs before thinking about Imperial.
Yeah, I actually don't disagree. I kind of wish we had a villager number tracker, but I guess we just gotta do the math manually. So that's like
on the bottom left in the supply.
Oh wait, there is a population thing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So Matiz is 55 and Zerton is 60. So
yeah, but we gotta remember that Matiz's ones are better because they're like inspired.
Yeah, for the prelate.
Wait, the prelate actually came out again.
Yeah. So he put the relic in, but he hasn't got it back into the chapel. Oh,
oh no,
man, that is.
It's just the shift commands, man. Like they're not right.
Yeah. Just a little bit more migraine on that prelate, and he's gonna feel that. Like 1 minute of not having the prelate do that is gonna wreak havoc in your economy if you're thinking that you have 1 supply but you don't.
Yeah, do you actually know the effect of the inspiration? I heard it's 40%, but really, that's insane.
Yeah, it is 40%.
Seriously?
On the
wow.
Gathering resources. You can see it in the chapel. It's the blue icon. It says Mass Empire. Prelates inspire nearby village and seekers in their gathering rate by 40%.
That's nuts. What the hell?
Yeah.
That's so strong.
And they natively have a 40% extra. If you click on a villager for the HRE, they have the extra carry capacity. So
yes.
That is, it compounds with each other. So it's not 80%, but it is 40% of the already boosted 40%.
Uh-huh.
It is, yeah, the HRE can economic boom incredibly big.
It's only gonna get worse and worse. Once Matiz reaches that high villager number that you want to get to eventually, like let's say it's 80. You can technically go 100, but I think a civ that buffs the villagers that heavily, you can afford to go a little less and a little bit heavier on those army numbers. Here come the men-at-arms, and well, God save the Queen. England is going down, I think.
Yeah, I would have liked to see. I think he doesn't have an tech up. I'm gonna check real quick on my end, but I would like to see Siege Engineer siege engineering getting research. He's just researching marching drills. I would have thought he would have researched that much earlier. That 15% speed increase for your infantry is massive in the source of facts.
Oh, for
But
sure.
siege engineering would have also been great to make sure that you have something like 2 or 3 rams before going into this offensive. Because yes, you are dealing a lot of damage right now, and it is a really good favorable fight for Matiz. But imagine if you had 2 or 3 rams to make sure you destroy that council hall, you destroy all of these houses while your infantry was still in combat. Like right now, you're chasing units, and he got the win. He could have made it even better with 2 or 3 rams getting
Oh, for
rid
sure,
of
man.